Star Wars, Braveheart, and West was the first Batman, of course, of television series, 60s. Then you had Michael Keaton, who was the first Batman of the movies. Then Val Kilmer and it was Val Kilmer and somebody else. Oh, George Clooney. That's right, George Clooney. Then Christian Bale. He was a good Batman. And then you had, of course, the little Lego Batman. Little Lego Batman. And then I think the last Batman was Ben Affleck. So now we're getting ready to see Robert Pattinson. Everybody, the initial reviews are saying Robert Pattinson is the Dark Batman.
There you go. So that's this weekend.
Yes,
come down to theaters this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Well, good stuff indeed. We are now on YouTube, and so we are streaming on YouTube as well. And it looks like everything is pretty cool there. So be sure. It looks like it's the page is WNCR TV. Matter of fact, that's the channel name. I'm gonna post that on Facebook.
Posted
for those to go ahead and click subscribe on the YouTube page, because one day when it start working well, we'll no longer be on the book.
No longer be on the book. Though.
On the book, because the book will cut you off. You hear me?
The book will cut you off in a minute.
And right now YouTube won't let you on. So it's but do that. I just posted that link for our Facebook Live people. Of course, we are also on the regular website, www.mywncrtv.com. That's www.mywncrtv.com. Let's say the good mornings here for those who have tuned in on Facebook. You can do that. We can do that real quick here.
Okay.
Somebody said the word is quick, not quick.
It's not tweet.
Good morning to Irma Maxwell, Elder Harris, James Bullock, Catherine Ann Brown Henderson, J. Russell Harris. It's going to snow. Karen Parrish. The weather has been changed a little bit. Good morning to Barbara Artist. Good morning to Ray Daughtry. Will Manna, good morning to you. Candy Staten, Deborah Gunter, Lola Leonard, Miss Wayne.
Miss Wayne.
And Allison Williams.
That's my Luther.
I thought you were trying to say it's going to be a lot like Christmas.
Wayne.
Okay. Yesterday, it was shared with me a video by Bishop McCarter. Did you see that video?
What Bishop McCarter?
Tip McCarter.
Oh, Tip McCarter. Okay, now you got it. Now it's more.
Well, you know, I could.
No, it could have
been
an old
RT,
video.
RT Carter. You're right. So why are you looking puzzled like? what you I should have said the new video. Then it would have included.
Right. If you would say, if you would say Tip McCarter.
Okay. So he was dealing with his son, and his son tried a gummy.
Tried a gummy bear. Like a gummy. Okay.
And he took two of them, and he was zoned out.
Two gummies? The gummy, like a gummy bear?
No, some cannabis.
Okay. I
was with cannabis. I guess it would.
I was unfamiliar with the.
That's fine.
I was thinking.
So it's just about education. And
it is. I was about ignorant. I'm no longer ignorant.
Okay, and so
about gummies.
So he. So we'll get past it. It's 20 minutes. I won't play the whole 20-minute video. But what I will do is maybe start at around the 15-minute mark. We'll try to take about 5 minutes of the latter part of it. So you kind of miss some of the story, but feel free at your own leisure to go back and check out the whole thing.
I sit him on the front row. There's nobody else in this courtroom. One black man is up there getting tried, getting sentenced. Want to know why? Because he goes into Walmart. He going to steal something, come back out, go back into customer service, get a gift card. They catch him in it because you don't want to get a job. Black men, we as fathers, we got to step up and listen to this. I pray. Y'all can't come off on me and tell me I don't pray, because I do pray. I do lay hands. I anoint. I trust God. I do all of that. But here it is right here. Here it is. So I let him understand. They finished that case. I stop. I stand up. I say, excuse me, y'all, I apologize. I just want to know, are there any more cases? Because I want my black son to understand that if he keeps messing with this stuff here, that he's not old enough to deal with, he shouldn't deal with, that this one thing can lead him here and you're going to be behind there and I can't do nothing about it. what I did. I apologize. I'm not telling nobody else to do it. I stopped. The attorney stopped and said, well, you can ask the DA. The DA said, well, sir, you know what? I'll be honest. Thank you so much for being in here. Let me speak with the judge. The judge stops and says, let me see if I can work this out to get him back here so he can visit the jail. They sit there for about 5 or 10 minutes trying to discuss it. Could I do it? They come and tell me, no, you can't do this. You can't. I'm sorry, Mr. McCarter. They ain't call me Mr. McCarter because they don't know my name. They said, sir, we can't let you go back there because COVID, but you can go up to the next courtroom so he can see that this is a serious matter, that things can lead to even greater things. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to say this to you. And they said that, and they said, well, we want to appreciate you. And I'm not trying to get this for no glory, no shine. I don't care about this mess. I'm trying to save my son so he don't have to go down another road. Because see, watch this. Because after all my preaching on Sunday, it ain't got nothing to do with the fact he don't love God. It ain't got nothing to do with the fact he don't trust God. He don't live in a Christian household. It ain't got nothing to do with that. But it's the fact that I got to let him see that there's some consequences different from the damnation he goes through. So we get ready to walk out the courtroom. We get ready to walk out the courtroom. 2 young black boys at my heart. I don't even know how old they are. They can't be over 20 years old. They stopped me. And I stood up in that court and told him that my son took a gummy and the gummy had him incoherent last week. He took 2. And I want him to understand that he could go out here and end up over there all because you want to be cool and hang out. We walking out and these 2 young boys stopped me. I don't know them. They said, sir, did I hear you say your son has a gun charge? I said, no. He took a gummy. And he was incoherent. He was not conscious enough to know last week that this right here could lead to something else. I said, and I brought him here so he could understand. The young black men looked at my son and hear the words. You got to read them because I'm not going to quote them on the live because y'all can't handle it. But I talk like this in my house and to my children. And I don't care if you can't handle it. The young black men looked at my son and said, you need to F with your daddy. You need to F with your father. Because if you got a father that'll bring you here, that'll do this. And the young black man looked at my son and said, I wish I had a daddy. He said, I wish I had a daddy that would have been in my face like this. It broke me down. My son breaks down crying in the courtroom. The boy said, I'm in here now because I got a gun charge. And he says, I wish I had my father to be in my face. And he says, man, you better F with your daddy. Won't you go to school? Just play basketball. They don't know who we are. They don't have a clue. He says, man, you better F with your daddy. You better rock with him because that's showing you some love. And I looked at my son. He's crying, broke down. And we walk out and we get in the hallway of the elevators. And I said, but you think I'm being mean. You think I'm mad. You think I'm a mean daddy sometimes. Our children think we're mean parents because we try to save their damn life. Let me say this to y'all. I don't give a damn about just shouting on Sunday morning. I don't care about just dancing and we emotional and all this stuff. But I want to be able to say something on Sunday that a black boy or black girl or somebody's life can turn around. And y'all think this little word of damn or the little language that y'all get upset about. Let me tell you something. Life disrespects you worse. There's more to it. It's more to it. And you sitting right here trying to pick apart the small little stuff about what should be on at church and all this. I don't care. That's why I don't care no more I don't care anymore what people think. I don't go to church. I don't like that bishop. I don't rock with him like that. I don't care. I just want to be able to make sure that they can leave a place where they come in a place where they're not judged. Because I'm at a place now where if we can reach them somehow, it doesn't matter. Just get them to a place face where our young boys ain't losing and they're behind bars continuously. Y'all, I'm out of here.
You know, that's words that he shared that I saw yesterday. Raw, as he came on at the beginning of his Facebook Live and said, "Look, it's gonna be raw." And you know, son's 18 years old.
But it's so real.
Got up his son to the car and said he said some stuff to him, and then helped get him again. So you know.
But that is so real.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what I've been saying all along. It's about men, all this analytics, and people want to analyze and say we need to do this and we need to do that. It's about being men. It's about being men, and it's about being parents. And you know, like I said, when I was a kid, those are the two biggest gangs in the neighborhood: your parents and the men in the neighborhood. You knew who they were. You knew who the men were, and you knew who the parents were. And so, you know. It's not about it. I'm with Tip. You know, I got so, and I'm at the point where I don't care what people say anymore. You know, I just, you know, you would say things and people would say, well, you know, not everybody grew up like you. I understand that. I understand that not everybody grew up like me. But the one thing about it is that I also know that that the culture was such that we respected our parents and we respected other people's parents. And we respected men and women, you know, of course the women too, but we respect the men in our communities. Until we get back to that, we're going to stay in trouble.
Yeah. So I mean, he pointed out, he said, hey, look, this is the household he grew up in. So he knew what household he provided for his son, that everything was there, right?
Right.
But yet his son wanted to venture out and try something. But, you know, in the early part of the video, he said, look, me and my son, this is what he said. He said him and his son had a relationship. His son should be able to tell him whatever. You want to try this, whatever, right? So one piece is the assumption was that a relationship was as such, but then the son still said, "Look, I'm gonna do some stuff," without really having a conversation with my dad, and it ended up being in school, and he was so coherent on that particular day. The school said, "We're not gonna let him drive back home or wherever he's gonna go," so they called him to pick him up. This was a video from, I'm assuming, here I am assuming too, from just after the incident. I think he actually says that. But he goes to school, says he's driving like crazy to get to school. Then he get there, flips on the light, goes off on the shot. He had him in a dark room, flips on the light, came at him in the school. Then leaves the school, took her to Fast Med down on Hargett Street. Said, I want you to test this boy. And he just said, well, he's 18. He can't share you the results. He said, I'm going to flip everything over in this
That's right.
place.
That's what a man,
If I don't get this and get these results. He said, and they said, okay, I understand. And then as the son was filling out the documentation for the drug testing, it was placed with for his son's email. He said, nah, put my email right there.
That's right.
So he put his email. And so the doctor came out and gave him the results and said, look, before I give you these results, I'm going to give these to you, but are you going to share with your father? Son said, yeah, I'm going to share. I'm going to share with him. So they couldn't find anything, but they found a trace of something they had to send off and get further verified. But he said, now you just sit up there and lied to me. He went up, you know, this is you know, it was quite, but anyway, so I would share that video. But again, Tip McCart is on his Facebook page. It's actually 25 minutes. I thought it was 20 minutes. But that is, he said, look, I'm going to be all up in your face.
It's supposed to be.
Right? All up in your face. I ain't got time to be your friend. I ain't got time to be that.
And that's the killer.
I'm be your parent.
See, and that's what I love about what Tip did there.
Yeah.
What Bishop Carter did there is that he got up in his son's face.
Yeah.
And so now he can better talk about how we need to deal with the other situations in our community,
right.
Because I got up in mine. I dealt with mine first.
Yeah.
I dealt with my house first before I tried to say something about anybody else's house.
Yeah.
Or I had to deal with mine before I said, you know, we need to lock these kids up, or we need to do this with these kids, or we need to do that with these kids.
Yeah.
Guess what I did? I started at home first because charity begins at home, love begins at home, and then it spreads abroad. And so now he can talk to us. That's the reason why. Notice he didn't talk to us before he dealt with his son. He talked with us after he dealt with his son.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of these folk need to deal with their own house.
Yeah.
Deal with your house.
Yes, sir.
And once you deal with your house, then you can go out and help somebody else deal with theirs. But until you deal with yours, sweep around.
I think I needed that right there. You know, what I also took from that situation there was he said, look, I don't have time for the formalities. I don't have time for the traditionalisms. I don't have time for any of that stuff. What I'm trying to do is deal with the pressing issue right now.
Right now.
And, you know, it's crazy because I think that there is a season of that. Because, again, I think I told people from day one, this ain't going to be the same little pacified campaign before.
No.
It ain't going to be the same like Bronson before. So, you know, when folks want to be crazy, I can meet you at your crazy.
I'll meet you at crazy.
Okay.
Hello? I'm crazy. Okay, I'll meet you there. I'm at crazy. I'll meet you there crazy.
I meet you right there. Because the issues are too great in our community to sit back and act as if everything is okay. We can listen to report after report, but the reality is there's something fundamentally wrong with the way we're currently operating, with not only just in Rocky Mount, but really in the entire world, in nation. We have fallen back just so far, and then you've got petty folks that got all the time in the world to do absolutely nothing. Okay, and then you got folks who follow petty. But I guess they say misery loves company. Oh, never mind. Let me also say good morning to a couple more folks, and that is Miss Rita Joyner Outerbridge. Also, Stanley Richard, who's watching on YouTube, said YouTube is so clear. It is. We're sending out our purest signal on YouTube, and that's why we're kind of getting away from Facebook as well. Good morning to Donovan Williams as well. Thank you so much all for tuning in. Phone lines now are open. I did saw a few people calling in. We want to get those thoughts out before we embrace the phone lines this morning. It's 754-252-407-8432. That's 252-407-8432. Today's the last day of filing. Noon stops filing for this upcoming election. Hey, caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, Mr. Bronson. I'm Pastor Smith.
Good morning.
I thought cannabis was legal in North Carolina.
No.
Ma'am.
Are you sure?
CBD is,
Right.
but not marijuana.
Not Mary Jane.
Mary Jane ain't there yet.
She's not there.
So my thing is the way you process it. Well, with the CBD, that's what you call it.
Yeah, CBD.
Isn't that the same thing as marijuana?
It's kind of like a byproduct of it, but it's not. It's not
and
marijuana.
it's the amount that the amount that you make the gummies. I mean, the candy and products with.
That's a form of that.
That's
But now
a
you
form.
got some pure gummies.
pure
I mean, some stuff you can only get. I can say you can only get. I know obviously got in North Carolina somewhere, but that stuff you would get in Nevada or California, Colorado, and places like that. But you wouldn't get. You're not supposed to be able to get that in North Carolina. Let me say that. I ain't saying because you can't get it obviously because he was able to get something, but they don't sell that thing of that high potency in North Carolina legally.
Yeah, because I think it's 2.0 that I thought was legal. So, like you said, in other states, it's probably more potent. But, I was just questioning. I said, I thought it was legal. And this stuff does have an effect on you because I do have a friend, and I thought it was a hemp product, just the hemp, like you see them selling in the grocery store.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was just eating the popcorn, and it took me to another place. And she said, no, it's that CB something, she said, it had in it. But it is very potent. I'm not trying to, hide anything. And just being that the topic came up, it is potent. I said, no, I thought it was just the hemp product. And the popcorn was good. But it can take you down now. I was sitting in my house wondering who in the world was in here with me, and it won't sell. But it's something else. So, people need to be careful with it because it is very potent. And, this came from Michigan, but I just thought it was the regular hemp. But she said, no, it was. I'm going to start reading these ingredients from now on because it'll mess you up.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I ain't know it was legal in Michigan.
Doc, and y'all wonder why I don't eat popcorn.
Call a good morning on the air.
Good morning, brethren. How y'all doing?
Good.
That's good. Well, I think what has happened on 2 occasions this week with Pastor Gideon as well as now McCarter, it just go to show that ministers and pastors are human just like anyone else. And when you dealing with other people's problems, it's a lot different than when you dealing with your own problems in your own household. When you're dealing with problems in your own household, it's the equivalent of you become a weak battery, people from the outside calling on you, but you're too weak you don't have it in you to even try to deal with other people's because you're trying to deal with your own. And just like he stated, I thought I had a relationship with my son where if anything was going on with him, that he could come and tell me. I still feel that way, but I'm gonna call the name. I was talking to Andre's night mother about 2 weeks ago, and she asked me, how was my son doing? How was I doing? And I told her, and I also told her again, that I really thought that him and I could talk about anything. But she told me, she said maybe he was too embarrassed to come and tell you that he may have been using drugs. I never thought of it that way because I thought him and I could talk about anything. But once she told me that, I backed away from it a little bit, and I said, well, maybe that was the case. So I think even Bishop McCarter, he said he thought him and his son could talk about anything. But when you found out that you didn't, number one, it hurts. And then you have to try to come to grip with it. What do I do with it now? So going back to Pastor Gilead and his decision to try to get some stability for himself, because I had discovered, then I'm going to get off, regardless of what you are going through, and people say so-and-so had a heart attack, so-and-so had a stroke, nobody go back and really assess what that person was doing or what they were encountering that may have led them to have that heart attack or stroke, and don't let them die. The only thing they can say, Johnny is dead. So I commend people when they realize that we just got to do something about our personal situation. And if people understand it, fine. If they don't understand it, fine. But there's an old song that we just sing in our church. All you don't understand now, you'll understand it better by and by.
Thank you, sir. 252-407-8432. That's 252-407-8432. To see the realness and of Bishop Tiff McCarter dealing with his son, and hopefully it will change his perspective on life. But then also trying to figure out what was it about that substance that he wanted to try. Was I saw people doing it? Was I'm dealing with some own issues of myself I don't want to talk to you about? What is it that made him gravitate to that? Some people gravitate to drugs. Other people may gravitate to food. Some people may gravitate to spending money excessively. And there's a whole bunch of things that people will do as comfort items to try to deal with their level of lack or issue or ill that they have. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning, brothers. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing well.
Well, I was just calling in on Mr. McCarter about his son's situation. I've been telling people the same thing what happened to him. It was a experience. What happened, him and his son. And it's been going on for a couple of years now. It's been going on for a long time about these kids, these young kids in the street, getting a hold of these gummies, getting hold of this fake marijuana, this K2, thinking it's marijuana, this artificial marijuana, and they smoking it and driving them crazy, make them look like zombies and everything. And a lot of these kids not going to tell their parents what they're doing. They have a lot of respect for their parents. They don't want their parents to shame them. They don't want their parents to try to put them in a rehab or none of that stuff. It's just a shame that people don't know. Some don't know, but some know. We get other people stuff to flip them out like that, and in the community. And these kids, and for Miss Davis, a lot of these people are going to D.C., Virginia, where it's legal, and bringing that stuff back to North Carolina, where it's potent, a lot potent in the stuff in North Carolina, and selling it. They go out there and buy it, and they come down here and sell it. And they got cereals, they got Crunchy Munch, they got all types of candy, snacks, and everything, man. These kids, they just want to see how they feel, but some of them will never get back when they taste this stuff. And it's crazy. And I keep telling people, and just like Mr. McCarter said, we basically got to hold our people accountable for this. It's us doing it to us, and that's the whole thing. It's us. I don't care nothing about nobody bringing some stuff back to destroy somebody's mind. I don't care you're black. You need to go to jail. That man could have lost his mind forever. Forever. Like he said, he might not would have seen his son might not been in the same predicament that he's seen him before. That stuff would turn your kids around and make them go like a zombie. And it's bad. It's bad for the community. These gummies is the worst thing they ever can do when they legalize them going into these tobacco stores. Because a lot of people cannot handle it. Not handle this stuff, man. This stuff is real bad. If you've never been high before, I don't do drugs, but I had tried a gummy one time about 6 months ago. I would never try it no more. And it had me so high. I'd never been high in my life. It's like I was gliding. And I don't do drugs. I said, look, buy one of these $3 gummies. And I bought one, man. I was done. I would never want to feel like that in my life. So it could have destroyed me. So I know what it's doing to these younger kids out there. Nah, this stuff is not good for you. Nah. But that's what I had to say, brother.
Thank you. Take care. 252-407-8432. That's 252-407-8432. 6 minutes past 8 o'clock hour this morning. Good morning to every single one of you all. And just one of the many issues that we have in our community. And the question is, which one comes first? How do you prioritize things in our community? Because there's so many branches of things going on. And then if you start, we want to focus on this one. Why are you focusing on that one? So then at some point, you've got to just say, look, that's what we're doing. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Mr. Bronson, I appreciate what Mr. Battle said. And my thought is, if it don't have Lay's written across the top of the bag, I'm not going to eat anymore. And as he was talking, it appears that I listened to his conversations, and it appears that he's an expert, not expert, but he have a lot of knowledge about the gangs and the drugs and those things that the average person would not know anything about. Why don't the mayor come up with some type of board so that he can educate people about these things? Because like you said this morning, CBD, TH, whatever it is, all that stuff, people just of my age just don't know about it. So I think it would be wise if they want to, cut back on crime and rock them out, that they come up with some type of board for that and have him to be the spokesman for it. Because it does appear that he have a lot of knowledge about that topic. So it was just food for thought this morning, and I just wanted to throw it out there.
Thank you so much. 252-407-8432. That's 252-407-8432. We're live this morning on WNCR Now. It's news, opinions, and weather. Caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Sir Bronson, according to the Nash County Board of Election, Mr. Battle, he claimed to be that voice himself. According to the Board of Election, he filed to run for councilman, so therefore he won't have to go through the second hand. He actually would be a voice inside of the chamber. So I don't know whether people was aware of that or not, but he is an official candidate.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And congratulations to you as well, Bronson.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. All right.
I wasn't aware. I commented, have checked the things this morning, and they hadn't updated it since 1 o'clock yesterday. But maybe I need to check it now. Maybe it's up there now. But it wasn't this morning. Oh, your mic is off, sir. My bad. My apologies. You got something?
No.
I'm trying to check something real quick. Nash County Board of Elections. So yeah, it is 9 minutes past the.
Use your words. Past what?
Man,
8 o'clock hour.
What are you talking
Okay.
about? I'm now just heavily focused into this.
Okay.
This thing here. I didn't know that was there. Yeah, so they haven't posted it. Yeah, so the last update was March the 2nd at 1:29. 1:29. And so, but hopefully they will update it pretty soon. I didn't know, and I did see this that somebody was running against Wayne Outlaw.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who?
His name is
John Inlaw. Wait.
John Inlaw. No. Thomas Winstead.
Thomas Winstead.
Thomas
Okay.
Arnold Winstead is running for Commissioner 5 seat in Nash County. So I thought that was interesting. And the other person's name is showing at one that they talked about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Alcee Hopkins.
Alcee Hopkins.
Is running up for 25. Oh, so talking about that, I saw you got John Chick, who's a former candidate for 25, as well as Mayor Sandy Robinson has endorsed Alan Chester for that seat. And then you have Jeff Collins, who formerly had that seat, has endorsed Yvonne McLeod. So that's gonna be interesting. So you got
and who endorsed John Chick? John Chick. WHIG.
Oh, I don't. What do you mean? John Chick isn't a candidate.
Oh, he's not a candidate. He endorsed somebody.
He endorsed Alan Chester.
Alan Chester. Okay, I thought you said Sandy endorsed.
And Sandy did too.
Oh, Sandy did too.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So that was so Sandy and
John Chick.
When I saw that, and I thought about the type of person that
John Chick is.
And then Sandy's association said with John Chick.
Mm-hmm.
That's just interesting.
That's interesting. That's interesting to you.
I would have said, "Hey, Alan, I like you, buddy, but you don't got that John Chick endorsement. I don't quite think I can. I I just don't know. I'm struggling with that
I'm
one.
struggling.
Yeah, I would have been, but
But
I
that's
was
you.
just saying it didn't.
That's you.
Yeah, that's just me. Because I know how he well, and maybe because Sandy may not be affected by his rhetoric.
Right. Because I know that there's two of the things that the mayor says that he would do once he got to D.C. was he said he wants people to help him build the wall. He wants them to help him get rid of Nancy Pelosi. He wants them to bring make America great again. I know that's what those. I mean, isn't that what he said?
Oh, I don't know.
Huh?
I ain't hear him say make America great again.
I thought he said make America great again. Well, so those are some of the tenets of making America great again: building the wall, getting rid of Nancy Pelosi.
You talking about this video you sent me?
Yes, yes, the video I sent you because somebody sent it to me.
Congress, please send me to Washington so that I can fire Nancy Pelosi, stop Biden and his spending spree, and build the wall. I would appreciate your support.
Yeah, he said make America great.
Okay, those are the tenets of making America great again. Some of the tenets. So it was inferred. It wasn't said, but it was inferred.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. So anyway,
build a wall.
That was interesting. Hey, caller, good morning on the air.
Yes, I'm listening to your show, and I'm kind of thinking I heard something a little wrong here. But did I hear somebody say Samuel Battle running for what?
He's running for.
Not being punked.
He filed to run for city council. City council.
Jesus. Lord Jesus, please take the wheel, Lord. Please, Jesus.
Yep, that's yeah.
What time is it? Is it 8:32 yet?
No, it's not 8:32. Why is that? What's you crying? You crying? What's wrong with you, Dad? So, I mean, congratulations to all the candidates who have who put their name in the hat to run for prospective offices. I certainly personally think there's nothing wrong with placing your name in a hat to run for whatever office you're wanting to run for. But in that, being sure that you know the role of the office, because I dealt with that on the mayor's race.
Mm-hmm.
I had fellow candidates who in some regard didn't understand the role of the office in which they were seeking to take part in.
That's right.
And of course, I talked about that, but it fell on deaf ears at the end of the day. And so then you saw, as the mayor currently who represents the city, what the actual effective power of a mayor really is. And when you go in there making enemies on the council, it's going to be hard for you to be a strong mayor.
That's right.
It's important that you develop relationships with all council members, because you have to deal with them, and if you're looking for more authority, more power, that has to be granted by the council.
That's right.
And now, I ain't got a clinic. I got some clinics in the front. And so, just being sure you know that's so important to me. And sometimes you could even be on the council and not know what your role is.
That's he's busy this morning.
Caller, good morning. You on the air? Good morning, caller. You on the air?
Yes, I was calling about the Rum McCarter's son.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. The church is coming up short. The church is not really doing what they need to do about hitting the streets, ministering to the people, because a lot of people's out there hurting. They don't know anything about God.
That's right.
you know, and so the church need to get more involved in the streets.
Amen.
And they don't need to do it just one time. Like sometimes they do something for the people.
Right.
One time, then they're going to wait a year later to do something else. It's something you have to do more constantly.
That's right. It has to be consistent.
Right.
That's right.
So
I
the
agree.
church needs to get involved in the streets.
Amen.
Like, a lot of times people say, well, I'm scared, you know. But if you got God with you, you know,
That's
everything's
right.
going to be okay. Just we need to hit the streets.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So true.
So, yeah, more absolutely getting out in the hedges and highways and letting people know
Right.
what it is. You did, you know, have faith-based organizations having after-school programs.
Mm-hmm.
Is there one? I know Audra Carter, she may still do something.
I think she still does. I think she still has her program.
I remember Bite at St. James,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember Pastor McCall. I just saw her not too long ago at Zaxby's. I said, every time I see her, I think about GOD, Guys and Girls of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
It was a program she had, and so they did a number of things throughout the community, from step shows to putting on little plays and skits, and just, you know, doing a whole lot of things took upon herself, her own time, effort, and resources to make that happen. And, you know, the question is, where do they exist today?
Mm-hmm.
And there's talent out there like never before. You see all these TikTok things that young people are doing. The deal is we just need more involvement. And you cannot expect for one person to do it by themselves.
Right.
Many times people might say, well, why don't you do it? Or why don't this person do it? Or this, that, and the third.
Why don't you do
that part?
Huh?
Because yesterday, talking about people not showing up, yesterday, we were supposed to have a redevelopment commission meeting yet again.
And
it was canceled.
Because no quorum.
Because we didn't have a quorum yet again. And
I need to get on that.
That is just ridiculous. That folks who filled out the personal history form was appointed by city council to say they wanted to be a part of this organization, wanted to eradicate blight in our city, don't have time to show up for 1 hour. We're talking about 1 hour. 1 hour out of your day in a 30-day month, and sometimes 28, right? Or 31. 1 hour. Now, of course, you might spend a little time researching information before you get to the meeting to know what it is you're voting on. But beyond that, the physical meeting is just 1 hour, and even that, the meeting was virtual.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you could have been sitting in your living room,
Mm-hmm.
but in place. Now, that really bothers me when there's so many people who are on these websites, and I get it, because some of these people who are on these concerned citizen websites don't live in the cities. They wouldn't qualify to be on the board anyway, so I can't really talk about them being on it because they can't be on it.
Right.
But those others,
because they don't live in the city.
Because they don't live in the city.
Okay.
They don't live in the city. But those others who are in the city who are really concerned, I would just encourage people to go to the city website and get a personal history form and ask that the council appoint you to these various boards. I named them just the other day. Maybe Pam Casey come on the show and talk about the various boards.
Maybe we can get her to get on, come on and talk about
She was
how it's done.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what
the process is.
What their responsibilities are. Although you can see it on the website, sometimes just
you need to hear it from people.
Right.
Some people are,
and the urgency of
audio.
Absolutely. So, Carla, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
Well, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm going to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Mr. Ballard saying that he had been in federal prison.
Mm-hmm.
Can a felony take office?
They can.
Yes,
I don't. Oh, okay. I didn't know, because I didn't want to say he shouldn't do it, But, okay. Mm-hmm. But can a felony vote?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can.
Yeah,
vote.
he can.
You can get your rights restored.
You can get your rights restored.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, the next thing, talking about people won't get on these boards. My sister done put in for 2 boards, have not heard nothing back from these people. So it's not because people are not trying to get on them.
That's a problem.
Okay,
It's people putting up there who they want to put up there.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that name. You don't supposed to know the name.
That's a willing vessel.
Yes, that's right. It's a willing vessel. That's all you need to know. That's right.
That's right.
It's a lot of people have put in for boards, but if you don't never get chosen to get on one of those boards, it's not because the people are not trying to get on them. You won't select them people. Are you waiting for a particular set of people to get on the board?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That got to be fixed.
Look how long Miss Davis was saying one morning how long it's been she had been trying to get on different boards. And heard nothing back from nobody. So it's not because the community is not trying to get on them. It's because you're not picking these people. So it's not always blaming on the people. Blame it on the people that's picking the people.
Blame it on the people speaking them. Yes, sir.
Blame it on the pickers.
So that's what I'm trying to say. Don't always blame the people saying they don't want to do this and they don't want to do that. There's a lot of people out here want to be on these boards because they can help. But if I'm going to sit here and wait for you to call my name because I'm not important, then guess what? You're never going to have enough people on the board.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because I look at your street address, oh, no, I don't want them. Wait a minute. You got a city councilman in every ward, right?
That's right.
So don't you need to pick some people out of your ward, too? Because you'll never get nothing done just picking certain people. And yes, people all the time.
That part.
I don't think Mr. Sam going to win the election, but I pray that if he do get it on the city council or wherever he running for, he going to have to calm it down. Because sometimes he will get a little angry. And all we going to have is a fight every time you have a city council meeting. We need to get some stuff done.
That's
a lot of stuff he said make a lot of sense, but he going to have to calm it down. And in order to do that, sometimes the Bible said, be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Thank you.
Thank you. 252-407-8432. That's 252-407-8432. So he's saying we need to critique the picker. That's important as well because, again, in our case, the Redevelopment Commission have people to make a quorum. They just not showing up. So that's a concern. Caller, good morning on the air.
Sir Bronson, a lot of time I think we as people, we become judgmental and underestimate other people. Most often in this day and time, if a person is going to do something, that person is going to go out and do the necessary homework. And in most cases, they're going to know whether or not they are eligible to do this or whether or not they're eligible to do that before they sign their name. And as far as being a convicted felon, I guess they reduced it down. But anyway, I was convicted of, I was convicted of a felony. That voting charge that they falsely accused me of. But I got my citizenship restored, got every right, and the former governor Mike Easley is a convicted felon. So people know how to do their homework, and I'll be kind of skeptical of somebody that say they're gonna pray for me, but yet they also already cast judgment against me. I don't know whether they praying from their lips or just, well, not so much from their lips. It could come from their lips, but I would question whether or not it's really coming from their hearts or not. So let's give anybody that number one, you can't go down and do it unless you meet the requirement. So let's not be judgmental. And if somebody's gonna be loud, it's better sometimes to be louder than to continue to sit around the table being quiet over issues that you should be aggressive. So maybe it's time for Samuel Battle to come into the chamber. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I will say that the election process, unfortunately, is what it is, and it is ultimately a judgment process.
Right.
People are gonna question your fitness to hold the seat, to be effective in the seat, and those things are important. What isn't important, though, sometimes is all the extracurricular conversations that people like to get into when it comes to candidacy, right? Which some of those things are irrelevant. And many a times, and I talked to a guy just about 2 days ago now, a white gentleman, and he said, I voted for Mr. Wiggins when he ran for mayor. I forgot what year that was. And at that time, I forgot. I guess David Ferris ran for mayor during that same time, as well as Combs. And he said they had a debate, and Combs and Ferris was just horrible. They said that Wiggins, he had it, that he was mayor material. And so he said he told his other friends, yeah, I'm voting for Wiggins. And his friend said, but he's black. This came right from his friends, but he's black. I can vote for a black man. And so what is crazy about it, and I said this a few weeks ago at a church, I think I said it here, that it's the very same people that would encourage others not to vote for somebody because they are black, just because they're black. And that's the very reason why they won't vote for him. Not that he didn't make the qualifications, that he knew the office of the mayor, and he could probably be effective and would have been effective as a mayor in the city of Rocky Mount. But because of the color of his skin, for some people in this city, and perhaps still in this city today, that's an issue. How do we fix that issue is beyond me. But it's still real. And I really don't care how many ills that I might have people said I had as a mayoral candidate. There were people who didn't vote for me because I was black. And that's just facts. Mm-hmm. And and that's where we live. And then, of course, as a community that is majority African American or black, whatever, we then don't go out and cast our votes because of the loss of value that we have for our own selves. That because I don't matter as a person, then my vote don't matter. My tongue don't matter because I don't need to speak about it because ain't nothing gonna change. It's gonna always be what it's going to be because of the construct of a value system that we have created in a society, that we have lend ourselves to that depreciated value. And so until we muster up to understand that we're no longer on sale, they'll take an item that's supposed to have some value, and they'll say, well, I'm going to mark it for sale. And so then it has what we consider a depreciated value. So I'm going to get it. But you only get the thing on sale because you recognize that I'm getting something that's more valuable at a discounted rate. So then there are those who will come and offer you peanuts or pickles or pizzas or vegetables or whatever it is to buy you at a depreciated value because you don't recognize your actual value. And at what point do we no longer accept that as acceptable behavior? That we must know our value not 28 days out of a year in February, but 365 days of a year. We must understand that we too are entitled to prosperous schools in our neighborhoods, not dilapidated buildings. That we should be entitled to sidewalks in our neighborhoods. We should be entitled to homes not having boards next door to us. All of these things that too often we lack because of a jacked up value system. Mm-hmm. we put too much stock in things that really have no intrinsic value. The opinions and views of others. They change like the wind. We'll get so caught up in what this person says, and we heard it this morning. Pastor Bishop Tip McCarter talked about, I cannot be concerned about what folks say if I use this type of word or this, that, and third, because I'm dealing with a life here. And when do we get back or get to that point? I do know there was a time in history that folks understood the value of working together. They understood the value of praying together. They understood the value of pulling up versus pushing down. But what we have here in this society today is folks and group of folks who will, no matter what you do, they will attempt to tear you down. But I also understand that those things are important, because then it would make the Lord's word untrue.
But then when you look at what you played earlier with Bishop McCarter, I don't want people to miss this. That he still, even though we saw the rawness of how it affected him, he still operated in his calling, because he didn't keep it to himself. What he did was he used it as an opportunity to minister to other people. And what he was showing is, yes, I'm going through, the same thing. And if there's anybody else out there that's going through the same thing, know that you're not alone.
That's right.
You're not alone. Pastor go through it too. Huh? But we need to deal with it. Yeah. He's still saying we need to deal with it. And that was the beauty of that. That's what I got out of it, that yes, I'm going through, but guess what? I still have a calling, and that calling is to minister to other people. And through this, let me use this as an opportunity to do that. That was an opportunity to do it, and he did it. I mean, it was, it's a great thing to me.
We missed the 32. It's 8:34. We forgot our
8:34
word of the day.
You were talking.
Yes, sir. You should say, wait a minute, it's 8:32.
No, sir, because you told me don't say nothing up here. I'm letting people know what to say behind the scenes.
Yes, sir.
Now, you don't run nothing up here. That's how you talk to me. So,
whatever. Go ahead. Yes, sir. I'll talk to you after that.
Yes, sir. The 8:34, 35 now probably, word for the day is askew. ASKEW. It is an adjective. It means out of line or not straight. In context, sentence that you could use, it says, Sam noticed the picture hanging on the wall was askew, so he straightened it. Askew in context. Let's look at the word in context. It says papers were askew. Someone had helped themselves to a snack in the kitchen, and the suspect's prints were discovered in the fireplace. Worse yet, the culprit, a squirrel, was still in the house. The word askew. That is our word for today. Out of line. If you want to know some synonyms, synonyms of askew would be aslant, a tilt, awry, cock-a-hoop, cockeyed, crazy, crooked, listing, lopsided, oblique, off-kilter, pitched, skewed, slanted, slanting, slantwise, tilted, tipping, and uneven. Antonyms would be even, level, and straight. The word for the day is askew, ASKEW, an adjective.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate that this morning and every morning.
Doc, you know how the word askew came about? They added a to skew, which is which is Anglo-Franklin, Anglo-French. I'm sorry, it's Anglo-French. askew. Mm-hmm. That's how the word was made.
Caller, good morning on the air.
Okay, askew.
Askew.
Use it in a sentence if you can when the mayor tried to cut off Andre at the past city council meeting.
Askew.
He was out of line.
He was out of line. The mayor was askew of decorum when Councilman Knight attempted to find clarity in the question that he was asking of Councilman Doddridge. How's that? Period.
Well said. It needs to be revisited because the people didn't get it. And there's something still out there. Mm. Now, that line item, need to be revisited because Doddridge was not telling the truth about it. Mm. In fact, I called Top Dog and I spoke to Tim. Tim said that he was one of the owners, and this was just Tuesday. Mm. So, somebody need to do some research other than me. And when he sent out that letter, he CC'd it to Tim. He didn't CC it to anyone else that was in ownership. So I still have questions about what's going on. So, and I'm quite sure I'm not the only one. Askew. Thank you.
252-407-8432. That's 252-407-8432. I don't know who Councilman Doddridge sold his 51% to. Mm-hmm. It does not necessarily mean that he would have sold it to Tim. He could have sold it to me, right? And then then I could be 51% of Top Dog.
Now
right?
you got 51%,
and so Tim would still have another partner, right? So it does not necessarily mean that Tim was the buying partner in the situation. But
right.
I hear it because he hasn't declared publicly who the partner is. I don't know if it's an LLC, if it's what it is. If it's an LLC, you should be able to kind of figure out who the partner is.
Tracy. Mm-hmm.
But if it's through a traditional corporation type situation, you may not know who the stockholders are in that situation. But so that would be up to them to declare who they sold it to, or who Lodge sold his 51% to. Could have sold it to his wife.
That could have happened also.
Okay, I don't
or
know.
His son.
He just said he sold it, right?
His children.
So we don't know who he sold it to. He didn't ask that far of a detail to it, but obviously it wouldn't have just been Tim because Tim would say he's still a business partner. Mm-hmm. Caller, good morning on the air.
Good morning, brothers. How you doing?
Good. You didn't share with us you had filed for office, sir.
Yeah, I did file. The reason why I filed, ain't nobody making me file. I got a couple people. I had 20 people down there with me yesterday. Some guys that I ran in the street, ex-drug dealers, ex-gang members, that saying there need to be a change. You talk at the city council. Ain't nobody gonna change the San Rock because you know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. So we want to support you. I said I need y'all support. So I went and filed. But the thing that I have a problem with, disrespect has no expiration date on it. Laughing I take that very seriously when people trying to do something and take it as a hint. No disrespect to nobody, but Mr. Smith, I just want to say this. I still have a lot of respect for you, but when somebody's trying to run for something and trying to make a change, I don't laugh at the situation. I don't find it funny these kids out here getting killed, murdered, and older people can't pay their light bill because the utility's so high. I look at all this. I walk through this community. I drive through this community, and I don't find nothing funny. I hear the complaints every day, but nobody, the city council, is giving no solutions. And it really bothers me when the person that came called up there from minutes ago, that is my aunt, Janice Daniels, Hard Rock's sister. Me and her have never been close. My grandmother is the one that I love, my uncle, my other aunts, but I love my aunt too, but she's so bitter because she got a lot of stuff that's going on in her life. So every time I call, she always come back complaining and all that, but when I talk about the light bill, she tell people, Mr. Knight need to pay his light bill. So, you know, your family can be your worst enemies, man. I just want people to know. That's my aunt, Janice Daniels. And she can call back, but, you know, I'm just trying to help these people, help my people. She ain't never been in the street. She ain't never been out here selling drugs. She never been in the game. She seen me grow up. She seen I went to prison at a young age. She seen I did all this stuff. She seen that I was a leader in the street. She got to understand that everybody ran with me still alive. We only lost 3 people out of 70 people. I'm still a leader. I still can make calls and they'll come. But I just don't get into that foolishness. I don't pass that torch. I'm living my life now. I got kids, grandkids. I'm fighting for them. 14, 13, 11, 16. That's who I'm fighting for. Because I know when the school split, everybody in Edgecombe County will have to go to Edgecombe County. Nass will have to go to Nass County. You know, when you come at me on that type, hey, I'm good at it. I'm good at it. I always stayed on the battlefield, but you know, I'm not gonna knock a council for what he's doing. I'm gonna try to make this campaign clean, but I can tell you this: soon as they get dirty, it's gonna be dirty. That's all I can say, because I'm not a disrespectful person. Soon you retaliating me, all bets off the table, man. I'm gonna try to run a clean campaign, but I can't handle disrespect. I ain't gonna take it. You know, I think everybody should run a clean campaign, but when the first person draws blood, it is what it is, bro. Ain't nobody going for nothing, man. People want to save this city. People want to save their grandmothers, their aunts, and everything in the city, man. Rocky Mountain's a beautiful place, man. It can grow. For 20 years, I ain't seen nothing grow in Edgecombe County. We in power. Can't use the white man holding your back for 20 years. We've been in power. I don't need to hear that. We've been in power. I keep that mind frame when, and I keep going back when I was locked up, but when the warden's supposed to run the compound, he really don't. The inmates run it. That's power. That's numbers. The people run this city. That's all I'm trying to say. Those people are there on that city council work for the people. So anytime the people call, they need to answer them phone calls. They need to answer them phone calls. And some people they call the city councilman, they don't answer the phone call, and some of them don't even got jobs. Some of them got odd-end jobs. They move out and move in. You know, I'm not this, man. I think Rooney was good what he done at OIC, and I think he's probably the best man for OIC. But I don't think he did good things for the city. But when you wearing the NAACP and the OIC and the city, like you wearing too many hats, no man walks out the door with 3 hats on top of his head. You can't wear but one. It's on top of his head. You can't wear but one. You know, and I listen to Pastor B, he's been beat down. You've been beat down because you're a pastor and trying to run for Congress and all this stuff. This stuff will wear you down, make you look older than what you is, man. Just say, man, I'm going to be over here where I know I'm good in the field. Because I work for the city. I got to get out there in the community and do that, man. You can't sit on your butt working for throwing things in the city of Rocky Mountain. You got to get out and knock on doors. You got to get out and greet people. You got to go see what people want. You got to do that. And y'all do not have the energy to do that. Y'all don't have the energy to do that. Do a Bronson Williams do it? Got it? Yes. Do a Crystal got it? Yes. Do a T.J. Walker got it? Yes, he do. He's young. You know, a lot of older people that say that they don't have the energy. That's what you need. You need people that have the energy to get out there in the community, run around, and see what these people want. Because everything is stagnated now up there in the city of Rocky Mountain. And I ain't trying to knock nobody down, but all I'm saying, man, I just want what's best for the people and the kids and the veterans and the older folks. My family come after that. You know, this city gonna grow when the people pass on. Then they get a torch to their kids. When they pass on, get a torch to their kids. Ain't none of that is really going on right now. It's just stagnated right now. It's stagnated. Passing the torch is just stagnated. You know, we had lost that, man. We had lost that, and we got to get it back, man. United States, and I'm gonna just say this before I go. United States in the Olympics was the greatest baton, the running, the 100-yard dash, and everything. But guess what? The Jamaicans came and the last 12 years dominated them. Because they didn't know how to pass the torch. They didn't know how to keep everything, and they kept running these guys to Olympics and everything. The Jamaicans got down. And that's all I'm saying. You only going to get better as time. And those guys' time, and I'm just saying on this level, what Silver Rock am I going, is up. God revealed, if nobody's looking, and God is revealing a lot of stuff to the pastors. Pastor Gay and then Mr. McCall was saying something about his son. You know, he's dealing with this stuff on a level that people better understand, man. You better understand, and it's only our leadership that's supposed to guard the community. You know, he's dealing with it, man. It's a new season. So I appreciate it, brother. Let me talk.
Take care. 252-407-8432. That's 252-407-8432. I want to say also good morning to Commissioner Harris, Deborah Manning, Alice Bailey, Jacqueline Leonard Randolph, Betty Archambault. Good morning to you. Thank you so much. Bojack Mitchell, good morning to you as well. Thank you for tuning in this morning. Captain Robert Baggett, don't think it's his name either. Good morning to all of you all. Hey, caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, that is my name, Janice Daniels. He love to call my name. But listen, I'm calling it just like I see it. And one thing about it, that is my nephew, and I know him like a book. And when I feel like something ain't right, I'm going to say it, whether it's him or whoever. I had no idea that he was even running for anything until Mr. Higgs spoke it. I would never have known. But these people got their choice, and they got their right to vote. And trust me, he ain't nobody's choice, and he sure won't be my vote. Thank you.
Thank you. So just for clarity, Samuel Battle has filed to run for City Council Ward 2.
Yes.
That's against City Council member, or for the seat that City Council member Blackwell has been serving. And so we're probably the first news outlet to break that story.
Yes.
So there you go.
That's what we're here for, information.
Absolutely. Information
for the people.
And education.
Information and education for the people.
Absolutely. Hey, caller, good morning. You're on the air.
Yes. Earlier, y'all was talking about boards and commission and people not attending meetings. I don't have a problem with a person not attending a meeting because I think you can get clearer evidence that the person is really not interested in it. Mm-hmm. And most boards, I think they have a policy in place, or they should have a policy in place. If a person misses X numbers of meetings without a legitimate excuse, it's time either to ask the person to step down or either just go ahead on and replace them. But to keep letting them sitting there, yep. And I know if you're a member, like y'all showing up to a meeting, there's nothing y'all can do, but those people that have made the appointment and they know that the people are not showing up, it's a whole lot that they can do. And also, I want to give an announcement that can take place in 2024. Commissioner Leonard Wiggins, who I have great admiration for, he had done a lot of good things for the city when he served as councilman, and he also done a lot of good things as county commissioner. But I know that he kind of looking at maybe leaving. I would be running for that seat when it comes up in 2024. I'll be setting my headquarters up at 1517 Cherry Street, and I'll be doing it probably before the year over because I know I'm going to have to get up in there and really get used to the people, meet people, shake some hands, and I want to feel good about them, and I want them to feel good about me before we get into that 24 election cycle. But I'm just letting y'all know as we speak, I will be a candidate in 2024, and to not replace Wiggins, but to just thank him for be in a position where I can really thank him for the service that he rendered as we say farewell to his service. So y'all can got that on news, opinion, and weather too, and mark it. What's today? March the 4th?
Yes, it is.
And I'm going to set up at 1517 Cherry Street, and you'll be able to recognize it because I'm going to paint it yellow, and I'm going to have balloons everywhere.
Thank you, sir. Thought a moment of silence was necessary. That's because call it. Good morning on the air.
Hi, this is Janice. I was just sitting here thinking about what Sam Rock had said a while ago. And, yeah, I am his aunt. He's my nephew, but that's just as far as it goes. And if I wanted to ask something, God knows y'all will be here till next year if I was going to add, tell some stuff and ask some stuff. I truly got something to ask. But I didn't choose to do that. And then as far as he talking about my son, my son is a felon. But he should have told this too. Yeah, he got out. And he's been straight ever since. He go to work each and every day, abiding by the law, versus him came out and went in so many times that, they got a cell down there with his name still on. They never took his name off the door where he left from because he going back there. So if he going to talk about me and something, I got a whole lot to ask, but I just keep it to myself. But if he want to talk about my son, my son was a felon, but just take a look at him now. See what God did for him. And the same God that did it for my son, he could do it for him. But like I said, I didn't add anything that I could have added. I'm trying to be real nice about it. But, he can't tell me what to do. Thank you.
Thank you. 252-407-8432. Today at noon will be the closing of the filing opportunities for candidates.
Right.
And it looks like we're going to have a quite interesting campaign cycle for these next
Good
couple of weeks.
campaign cycle.
So we are going to be mindful of that. Hey, caller, good morning.
Mindful of it.
Mr. Bronson, my sister and I was talking yesterday, and it was a little after 5 o'clock, and we said, well, nobody's running against Councilman Blackwell. I said, well, they got until tomorrow. And, of course, we just heard Mr. Battle's announcement, and you never know who's going to run. I hope both good luck, and I don't want us to get back to being kindergartens by fussing on your show because it's not the platform for it. We all got skeletons. Keep them within the family. That's all I can say. And good luck to everybody. And that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I can say that we won't have. I guess I was about to say we won't have candidates going back and forth because it take two cans to do that. So I won't say that actually. So never mind. 252-407-8432 is the number to call in. And we got a few more minutes before we get up out of here.
Right.
Today, it's just been a great program as always.
As always.
On this Friday morning.
Yes, sir.
And
Friday morning.
Yes, sir. It's news, opinions,
and weather now
TV. So
now.
Rita says, Bronson and Pastor Smith, love you both. Enjoy the show every day. Have a wonderful weekend and be safe.
Yes, I met a lady yesterday. I can't remember her name, but it's not coming to me right now.
I'm glad you said that, too.
Met her yesterday. She said, I watch you every morning. She said, I want to let you know that I watch you every morning. She said, I had a stroke. She said, but I get up every morning to watch
and
you. Tune in. Then another lady told me yesterday, she said,
it's real.
She said, I tell people don't call me before 10. She said, but now y'all got me getting up at 7:30. So
Yes,
I'm there. I'm there. So, today was a work day for me.
Speaking of that,
I was working on my facial expressions because everybody was getting. Was I doing? Did I do good?
You did. I'm gonna grade it later on because I do go watch his shows.
You do.
I go back and give some assessments. On
and then I had people
you.
talking to me the whole time. They were saying, "You're doing good.
Yeah,
you're doing good.
This motivation is good.
This motivation is good." It said, "I see it's a struggle, but you're doing good."
Yes, sir.
So I feel so happy right now.
Good.
That that I have done.
You're improving.
I'm improving.
Right. So everybody can't say you're stuck in your old ways.
Right. Nobody can say I'm stuck in my old ways.
Nobody can say you're hard headed.
And somebody said to me, I said, "How am I doing?" And they said, "Struggling, but you're doing good.
Yes,
you're
sir.
doing good." Now they give you that positive reinforcement.
Not needed.
That's what we need for our kids and for our pastors.
Certainly. If we have it for our children more, they'll be better off adults. But anyway, also want to say a good morning to Mr. Pete Weaver.
Mr. Pete Weaver.
Do you know him, man?
Mr. Pete Weaver.
He retired firefighter.
That's right.
Rocky Mount BNFF. I remember he drove a little Volkswagen, the little
Bud.
Man, I gotta find one of those. I want one of those little cars to drive around. We had like 4 in our yard one time. They all magically disappeared.
I
had to look at the
Who
camera.
you talking to now?
I just saying. Okay.
Who you talking to? I want to know who you talking to. They were in your yard. I know you talking to the camera, but you made a specific thing. You said they was in our yard and they disappeared.
You know what I'm saying?
So who you talking to? I want to know who you talking to.
That's right.
Yes,
But you do is stay out of my business that I got going over here.
But it wasn't no business because you put it out.
No, I put it out.
You put it out. And then you look and say, I want to know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
If you didn't want to share that, you should have kept that internal.
No, I'm going to keep it right where I got it. What about that part?
Okay.
What about that part?
Yes,
you want to know who you talking to? That's just the instigator. You just messing.
That's not the instigator.
I'm messing. Who you talking to?
You talk to the camera, so I want to know. The camera can't respond.
I encourage you to talk to the camera. Look at the camera.
Look at the camera.
Because we want people to know we're talking to them.
We're talking to them.
Right? Not just a conversation.
I had an emotional moment today, and you had people, you said, "Why you crying, Doc?" I was crying. I was emotional.
10:08. Okay. Getting some windows put at my house, and so I need to deal with that. But good stuff. Unfortunately, we out of time for the last caller. I hate to take it. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Hey, caller. Good morning, real quick.
Hey, Sir Bronson, I'll put emphasis on today at 12. The book closes.
We already did. Appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir, Doc. And we got to get out there. I don't know about you, Doc, but I'm going to Big Boy Barbecue today and get me a plate.
Is it today?
Yes, sir. Big Boy Barbecue today is a plate. Out by Shaq's.
He gonna be at Shaq's today.
Yes, sir, Doc.
All right. Well, there it is. Make it a great weekend. Happy filing to all those who filed, and I guess the campaigning has officially started.
It has. Yeah. It has started.
Yeah. Good old times of campaign season. Be blessed, my brother and my sister. We'll see you Monday morning, 7:30. 7:30 for you too.
7:30.
Ish.